My name's Linda Newbelt, and I played the role of Agnes, and my mother is dying, and so I'm here with her and her caregiver. Kevin, as a director, you talked to us about what phase we're in, are we in denial or whatever, and I always thought that I was sort of the type of character that was sort of an acceptance of what was happening in a way, but in other parts of her life she was in complete denial. So over the course of the play, she learns more and more about her role with her mom, and she starts looking inward as to what her life will be like when she loses her mom. Well, I think it completely relates to hospice, because it's in a hospice environment, and the fact that they draw families together and bring them into, try to work with them and help them, guide them through the process of dying in whatever phase that they're in, whatever family unit they have, that's what it really spoke to me in the hospice. In the different cottages, like with our cottage, it's a mother and daughter. The mom's passing away and the daughter's helping care for her and trying to deal with her own issues of loss, the mother's fear of letting go. And you have another cottage that's a husband, wife, and child and what they're going through. And so it was a really nice window into different types of family situations that a hospice could help. My uncle was very ill, and he was on dialysis, and he knew that he'd been on dialysis for years and it was getting towards the end of his life, so he engaged with hospice care. And he wanted to take total control over the last time of his life. So what he had done is he had contacted my cousins. One lived in Canada, one in Texas, and had them fly in with their children, and he planned a big vacation for them all. And he said he really wanted to have one last time to go on a trip with them. He arranged for medical care out of state in Florida, and he did all this stuff. He brought them all back, and he started giving away a lot of his possessions and had that all organized. And he said to his girls that there was going to be a point where he was going to let them know when he was ready to go. And he had been working with hospice, and he would let them know the time. And then he wanted them to come back and help him with that. So he contacted them probably 2 or 3 months later, so it's now into the fall. And he said that the date that he and hospice had decided would be great would be Thanksgiving. He wanted to have one last big meal, no dialysis, eat whatever he wanted. So the girls flew in and they cooked his favorite foods. Hospice helped him with his funeral arrangements. He had his favorite restaurant. It was Nucci's restaurant in Plainville, Connecticut. It was his Italian restaurant. It was his favorite place to go. So he arranged his menu. He fully arranged his funeral services. He had Frank Sinatra playing I Did It My Way at the funeral. I mean, he had it completely planned out. His girlfriend was his executor of state. He had everything all already passed along to people. And so when everybody came in, the hospice was there. They came in early Thanksgiving and made sure everything was okay, and he had his meal, and they were back after dinner, and they helped with the various medications he was going to need to help, with pain, because he was going to experience quite a bit of pain without having his dialysis any longer, because he was doing dialysis several times a day. So they had him all set up, and he lived, I think, close to 2 days afterwards. And my cousins were in constant contact with hospice. They'd come in and out, and there was one night when my cousin said, something's changed, he's in a lot of pain, what do I do? And they said, well, give him more medication, we're on our way. And the hospice nurses arrived, and my cousin said they went in and said, oh, it's time, if you want to go say goodbye, now's the time. So they went in, and she said he was laying in bed snoring, sound asleep, happily sleeping, and she said he just faded away. It wasn't anything frightening. The hospice was there, and she said it was really a great experience. Oh, I think it helps not only the person who's dying, but I think it's the family. It's key to help everybody try to get together and feel at ease. And I think it kind of demystifies the dying process, I think. It helps people guide them through it and don't think that this is only happening to them and they're the only ones that experience a certain feeling. Whatever they feel is correct and valid. So I think it's just great for everybody. And I would definitely call if I needed hospice or I had a family member that needed hospice, I would definitely call. And like Janet had mentioned, as soon as we had done the show and I saw they had the after talk with hospice care workers, I thought, I want to volunteer for this. I don't have any medical experience either, but I thought I could lick envelopes, I could do something, because at his talk he said there's a big percentage that is required volunteerism is required. And I thought, geez, there's so many ways that you can help. You know, even if it's somebody that might come in to give a family member a ride to a grocery store or something like that, you know, any kind of little thing would be great. So.